This is Conor Lennon for UN News. Many of you listening or watching may have dreamed of living on a Caribbean island, enjoying great weather and easy access to the ocean. But growing up on these islands can be hard. Youth unemployment is high in many small island developing states, and opportunities are often few and far between. Training in digital technology is seen as a potential solution to this problem, both for the out-of-work young people and the countries which need skilled labour if they're to develop their economies. Here in Dominica, the government's been working with the UN and other partners to help more young people develop their digital skills and find new sources of income. We wanted to speak to someone who'd benefited from the programme, and we were told that the person to talk to was up-and-coming photographer Josiah Johnson. Hey, Josiah, nice to meet you.
How are you, Conor? You good?
Very well, thank you. Thanks for inviting me into your home. Is it your home?
No, my mom's home.
It's your mother's home.
Yes.
And who's this here?
Oh, that's my brother.
Nice to meet you.
That's making his breakfast.
How's it going? Oh, right, nice looking breakfast. I'll leave you to it. So where do you want me, Josiah?
You can just have a seat right over there.
Okay, right. And I see you've got a lot of kit out here already.
Yeah.
Do you have a job on today?
Yeah, today I'm just finishing up a menu. After that, I have to go to the bar and itself.
So this is not a filming job. This is a graphic design thing.
Yeah,
You do graphic design as well.
Yeah. So that's a graphic design job for Corridor Inn. I'm just finishing up their menu, their cocktail and drink menu. After that, we can go to the bar.
Oh, maybe I'll check it out later.
Yeah.
Looks quite fancy.
Yeah.
Nice looking cocktails as well. Very
Yes.
tempting. Wonderful. So, graphic design, photography, videography, you're kind of a man of all trades.
Yes.
What's your main passion? Is it the photography?
I would say photography. I like to, since I was young, I always had a fascination about photography and capturing a moment. Even in high school, I always had a phone or little camera. I took photos of everybody. I think I have photos from a long time.
It's very glossy, very fashion magazine style. Do you have any, are there any references, any examples of famous photographers who you particularly like?
Well, in Dominica, I would say I looked up to a lot of people like Chad Ambo, even Siamese photography. I can't remember exactly. People overseas, I just use it look for inspiration.
Like the big magazines?
Yeah, magazines like Vogue. I was
thinking Vogue as well.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
I like magazine stuff. Like I like the mystery or sometimes of the photos or creative stuff. I like to look at how they would put arts and photography together to mix it together. I like nature as well. I like to look at the small stuff. Look up to the sky and see things people don't see as well. So
you're in the perfect
yes.
for nature photography. You couldn't be in a better place than Dominica. Oh, let's find out a bit more about you and your life. How old are you, first of all?
I'm 29.
You're 29.
I got 29 on the 29th of March.
Okay, and you grew up here. This is where you're from.
Yeah.
I mean, what we're trying to find out is a bit more about what it's like for young people in Dominica. I understand that in Dominica, like many islands, unemployment's quite high. It can be quite difficult to get work. Has that been your experience as well?
No, I would say it's easy for me to get work because I feel like I'm a people's person, and I know when I go to a job, I started up in customer service. So I know a lot of people, and people know me like to be very nice, I would say, or very helpful, like when I do something. So if I take a picture, I want to make sure that, hey, this person is going to like this. I get even nervous when I do some stuff, like I want to make sure they love it. So I try to do my best. So I actually didn't grow up here in this home. I'm originally from a place named Gutter Village.
Okay.
Yes. So it's like, I would say it's a ghetto area, but I always see the potential in everything. So I didn't let that hold me back from seeing better things.
So you'd say it was a disadvantaged community, and on the whole, unemployment is quite high in Dominica. And also, you've been through this Hurricane Maria in 2017, which devastated the country, and then the pandemic as well. So do many of the people of your age, did they find that period very difficult?
Yes, of course. Some of them even left. They said we wouldn't have anything here for them, so they just left.
That was the end of Dominica,
Yeah,
they thought.
yeah. Some of them came back, but most of them left. Yeah.
Well, tell me a bit about the online, the digital side of things.
Oh, okay.
I know you took part in this program that's being supported by the UN, this Work Online program, also a
Yes.
government program. Tell me a bit about that, what the experience was like, and how helpful you found it.
Well, the experience was very informative. I learned a lot. I got to know how to find jobs online, and it like opened a new perspective to, or new grounds to find jobs online and how to apply to them and get them out of all the thousands of people that trying to get that same job. They taught me how to like pinpoint certain things to get to what I want.
That's interesting. So before that, you were just thinking getting
Yeah.
work in Dominica from other Dominicans, but as you said, it's a double-edged sword, right? On one hand, you have access to this global market, but then you are
Yes.
one of hundreds of thousands of people
Yes.
going for the same job.
Yeah.
So how did they, give me an idea of some of the tips that they gave you?
Okay, well, one of the tips was we would have to go and look for a job at a certain time in the night, like in our time, like that would be the best time to go because that's when people are posting jobs, like vacancies. Like as we're in Dominica, it would be, let's say if somebody posts at 2 a.m. in another country with a vacancy, they would tell us we should be online at that time looking for vacancies because that's when they normally post.
Interesting. So they knew what time of day most people post, and I guess that's a good time for you to immediately try and get in there first.
Get in there first, yeah. So you would see before, like let's say you see a job post, by the time 1 hour passes, you would see like 100 applicants.
Right.
So if you go at 2 o'clock in the morning Dominica time, you would be able to maybe be there first and send your application first in line.
Were you just looking for photography jobs, or were you looking for lots of other possibilities?
Other possibilities as well. I know I'm good at speaking or dealing with people. Like I did my first online job was out of what I was looking for. I got a customer service job, so I was online like for the day, like working as a call center person. So I can still remember the lines. I was working for Canadians. I had an accent for that job. So I can give you an example of.
Tell me, they like the accent. All right, give me your script.
So I was like, "Hi, I'm Josiah Johnson from Specialty Life Insurance. This is just a courtesy call to inform you that your most recent payment for the month did not go through, and the purpose of this call is to connect you with a senior agent who can look at options to keep your plan uninterrupted, okay?"
Love it. That's brilliant. That's great.
That was like a routine for the whole day, but it's not a field I wanted to be in, so I stayed like a month and a half.
We have a Canadian colleague here behind the camera. Doesn't like being on camera usually, but as a Canadian, was that convincing?
It was pretty good.
It was pretty good. There you go.
Maybe
you'd have got a sail there, no problem. But that wasn't what you wanted to do. Your passion is photography.
Yeah.
And did you get any extra photography work as a result of the training?
Yes, I did. Like I met a lot of people during that time. So being in a network, it made me integrate with other people, and I got different opportunities through that as well. Like somebody would call me and say, "Hey, I can't go to that job right now, so you can fill in for me at that time, or I have a job I want you to edit some work for me. Can you do it for me, and I'll pay you from that." Different things like that. Yeah, a lot of networking happened.
And you were with other people as well. Did they? I'm sure you know each other. You've spoken to each other. On the whole, would you say that they benefited from it?
Of course.
In what way?
Well, it got them to see a better way out. Even if you're in the country, you don't have to leave to get more money or leave your country to start over in another place. Like, imagine you leave Dominica now, you have to think of home, or you're going to leave transportation, food in a whole different place. So you basically will have to start over. But when you're here, it's basically your home, but you can be working for somebody overseas. So you make what they call it foreign exchange. You would make maybe 3 times to 4 times or even 10 times your normal salary. I have friends that have like for the month they could make 10,000 US or
Wow.
yeah. So I
And I've seen the exchange rate of
Yeah.
each. That's huge.
yeah. So I could even go on. I also could just sneak on some of their Upwork profile, and I could see, hey, this one make 5,000 for this job, and for these different things. I was like, oh, that's why some people disappear. Basically, like you don't see them anymore because they're inside working, and then they do a lot of things like the normal Dominican person wouldn't be able to do, like maybe go on a vacation, have more spending money. Being able to move freely without having to go to a job every day and make a small amount where you just have to pay the bills with.
So we can already see it's making a difference to the economy.
Of course.
And people like who may have had to leave the country can now work here and get
they
money.
they can even come back and find jobs online. The same job they would go and look for overseas.
Well, having seen your photographs, I'm sure you are going to go on to greater success. And
Of
I
course.
really hope to see you in the edition of Vogue
Oh.
sometime with one of your pictures.
I hope so.
Good luck.
Yes.
Josiah Johnson on life as an entrepreneur on Dominica. But Josiah is far from the only person to have benefited from this country's initiative, the Work Online initiative. Many others have also been taking advantage of digital tools to find work. And Robert Tonga is the man who's been helping them. Robert is the coordinator of the digital economy for the government of Dominica, and formerly an entrepreneur yourself, so you know all about the challenges that these people have been facing. Well, let's just talk about Josiah, who you saw there. Do you know him well?
Sure, I know Josiah quite well. I met Josiah through the Work Online program in Dominica that the government of Dominica did. It was championed by the UNDP, specifically after COVID-19, where many persons had lost their jobs. And that was a way of allowing our Dominican individuals to ensure that they could earn an income, because as you know, many people lost jobs, they had no way to support their families, and that was a fantastic way because many young people especially, have a ton of skills. They're just not sure how to harness them, and more importantly, how to sell them out of Dominica.
I mean, COVID was tough for everyone around the world, but you had just been suffering from the after effects of Hurricane Maria just a short period before that.
Hurricane Maria was extremely tough. It had the same type of effect where many people lost jobs, their livelihoods. Luckily, it didn't last as long as COVID. I think many people feel that COVID was worse, especially from a business standpoint, where persons lost their livelihoods completely for significant periods of time. Many people left the country, eventually came back, many companies closed, many companies did not open. So we had to figure how could we even allow persons who were not at work to earn an income, not only for themselves, but to take care of their entire family. And we worked with the UNDP, and they came up with a program called the
UN Development Program.
UN Development Program. And they came up with a program called the Work Online Dominica, where persons from 18 to 40 were able to harness and improve the skills that they already had and be able to offer the services not only in Dominica, not only in the Caribbean, but throughout the world.
I mean, globalization sometimes for smaller companies is seen as being problematic. But for you, how have you judged the impact of this program in terms of helping Dominicans to connect better with the global economy?
Well, part of it is that traditionally someone would open a small business, they may hire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 individuals, and that's not many. At the same time, with the Work Online program, we've been able to train 180 individuals. And that's 180 individuals with the potential of having jobs, not only within Dominica, but out of Dominica, earning foreign currency coming into Dominica, as opposed to just circulating within the country. And more importantly, the individuals, their skills were able to be enhanced. They came out with more skills, and very importantly, they were a lot more independent and positive in the thinking. And we had great tutors who were able to teach them and show them the right way to do their business, how to present themselves, because obviously you're presenting yourself totally online. And that has made a tremendous impact from the standpoint that even based on the amount that was being earned, obviously someone doing a job in the US, they're going to get, let's say they're going to get the minimum wage, which is still way more than ours. Plus you have to multiply by 2.7169. So many of the individuals are really happy that they actually took the opportunity, they took the chance. Some people thought it was just maybe something fake, but it's actually really real, where you could come into a program for 12-week program. There were 2 tutors who really took people by the hand and showed them all of the various steps how to look out for scams, and how to present themselves properly. And many of them were able to earn way more than they're actually earning right now.
So give me some examples of the kind of jobs they would have been getting as a result of this training.
So you had persons doing virtual assistant services, language translation, data entry, customer service for like a call center. So it was a myriad of different opportunities for individuals.
And what kind of countries has that employment been coming from?
Primarily it was the US, Australia and Canada.
Right.
Those were the primary ones that we saw.
So you found the impact is clear to see. They have been getting work that they wouldn't have got otherwise.
They have been getting work. Some of the success stories was that you had individuals who were at the state college who were actually studying, and they felt that they had the opportunity to do it. And because they had already had skills, even before the program was ended, they were able to secure jobs online. You also have individuals who have done so well that they were able to hire other individuals. And I know now there's this one person who's taking care of, I think it's a catering kind of food type of company. So that individual is in Dominica, ensuring that all of the chefs, maybe across the world, are properly organized and doing the necessary work. Can you imagine that this is actually happening in Dominica, but again, as a result of technology? You have individuals that are booking, like virtual assistants, booking travel plans to individuals. As opposed to sitting at their home, they're actually out in the garden with their laptop using data and doing all that stuff for individuals and being paid very well for it.
Well, I was going to come to that because one of the criticisms that you hear sometimes about this globalized so-called gig economy is that it can be a form of exploitation, of paying people less than you would have to pay in your own country. What would you say to that criticism?
So far, based on the data, the salaries, the wages are way more than the traditional salary here locally. And even from what I understand, even if you work at like a call center, the salaries are still more. So it has been definitely to the benefit of Dominica. Persons use services such as Payoneer and PayPal to receive their funds. And obviously you have to vet the company that you're working with to ensure that they are a bona fide company. And persons I have not heard of any complaints in terms of persons being paid on time, because obviously you have certain agreements based on the platform that you're working with.
Small country, small population, I think, 72,000?
71,000.
71,000. I mean, coming from New York, that's hard to imagine what that must be like. But is this a way for you to compete? Do you feel that this is kind of helping you to get on more of a level playing field?
I don't think we want to see it as a competition. We want to see it as ensuring that our people have proper livelihoods. Our people can provide the best possible life for their family, to have funds to retire properly. And at the same time, part of our program is to ensure that, as part of our digital strategy, we want to ensure that our people are properly skilled, right? And we have tons of programs where persons can upskill themselves to ensure that not only that they benefit themselves within the Dominican context, but also out of Dominica. We want to ensure that in terms of the use of technology, our individuals are properly trained so that we don't have to always depend on individuals or getting jobs out of, let's say, India, and these other places to come and do the work in terms of IT. We want to ensure that our individuals in Dominica are skilled and can provide those services. And obviously, it's going to benefit us because if other countries need it, we can also do it at a much better price. Okay, so I've got to ask you to do an elevator pitch. You're an entrepreneur, you know how to do this. Sell the Dominican people to the rest of the world. What's good about the Dominican workers? That's a good one. Basically, our people are warm, our people are friendly. We speak English, which is a major advantage. We're on the same timeline with America, Canada, and these places, so it's easy for us to communicate. And our pricing is very affordable. Very well done. Nice and short and to the point. Robert, thank you very much. It's lovely to meet you. And we will have to get a photograph of you taken by Josiah. I think that's very important. Sure, no problem. Thank you. No problem. It's a pleasure.